Hi guys, welcome back to Kobe's Kitchen, where we share simple, amazing recipes. You don't have to break a bank to create an amazing meal in your home. And homemade food does not have to be boring. Thank you so much for all who have subscribed, my returning subscribers, my new subscribers. Karibuni and asanteni sana. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please watch and if you gain 1,000, we are only 290 more to 1,000 subscribers. Please tell a friend. Come all, let's subscribe to this amazing channel with this beautiful face, with these gifted hands, and let's share our recipes. So sit back, relax, and of course, let's head over to our ingredients. I had forgotten to tell you, today we are making amazing donuts. So let's head over to our ingredients. So for the ingredients I've already measured my 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'll be using a tablespoon of instant yeast. Then I'll be using 2 eggs, a half cup of sugar. If you're more of a sweet person, ongeza sukari according to your liking. You can play along with your ingredients. And then I'll be having my margarine. This is the brand that I would vouch for whenever you need to bake. So I'm using this margarine, and also I'll be having some vanilla essence for the flavoring. So, and also I'll be warming up my milk. Yes, you can use milk, but since I don't have milk with me at the moment, I will substitute the milk with a cup of warm water. So wacha tukoroge vitu zetu whatever. So there are 2 different types of yeast. Kuna instant yeast na kuna ingine lazima uproof. So instant yeast kwa instructions na kwa zimeandikwa, you can weka yote, you can mix it directly with your unga. But the other one, kama instructions are your other yeast that you have, read the instructions on your yeast. So if it says you proof it first, proof it in warm milk that with a tablespoon of sugar, and let it rise for 10 minutes. But since mine is instant active yeast already, so I'll be adding a tablespoon of yeast and then koroga. So let me melt my margarine. You can also substitute margarine with butter. So let me melt my margarine, alafu tupatane tukiendelea kukoroga. So I'll be creating a well in my flour and then adding my melted 1/4 cup of margarine. And as you add your margarine, please ensure that your margarine is not too hot, because if you put too hot margarine, you will kill the yeast and your dough won't rise accordingly. So now after I put I was warming my cup of water, sorry. So as I've put the 1/4 cup of margarine, I will beat in 2 eggs. Be warming your milk, or rather your water, whatever you choose to make your donuts with. And let me try to mix this up before my water warms up. And again, you don't need hot water, you need lukewarm water / milk. So now I will mix this up until I form a nice dough that won't stick to my hands, but rather it will still be soft and not stick up to my hands. So my water is warm by now. Not really. So I'm using a cup of warm water. You can also substitute this with milk, and then we shall put aside like a half cup of water, so that when kneading your dough, if it is too hard, utaongeza your the extra cup that the extra water that you'll be having. I'll also add in a teaspoon of vanilla essence. This is for the flavoring. It's optional, by the way. So a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And now I can go in my hands or with your spatula or with your mwiko, whatever you have, and then knead this until I form a nice perfect dough. So I'll be kneading this until your dough ikiform, and then be back and show you the consistency of the dough. And remember, I told you ukuwe na an extra cup of milk ama water to ongeza. Ukipata your dough is hard, kuongeza ile juju, kuongezea juju. Ama you can also have like 3 tablespoons of flour on extra. Ukipata your dough is too soft, unaweza ongeza juu. But for my case, the dough is hard, but I need a soft dough, so I will use the extra cup of water to add in my flour gradually. So si yote pa, utaongeza tu gradually, pole pole tu, because you don't need the whole another cup of water. So acha niongeze kidogo kidogo and show you what I mean. So unaona my unga is hard and we need a soft dough, so it means hapa lazima tutaongeza maji. And remember, we are using warm water, so this is what I mean by gradually, kidogo hivyo, alafu you continue kneading your dough until you get the right consistency. So don't overdo your flour, and also don't overdo your liquid, either milk or water. I'll continue adding gradually until I get the best dough that I want. So let me do this and then show you what kind of dough that the consistency of the dough that you need to have. So this is what this is the kind of dough that you need. It stick kwa the surface that you're using to knead. So unaona it's clean, but again ina stick tu kwa mikono, just a little bit, kidogo tu kwa umbali. So when you have this kind of dough, you're good to go. So don't let it ikuwe ngumu, na pia isikue ati ina stick on your surface. So what I'm going to do now is just oil it up, ndo isikauke, isikuwe na hizo kauka juu kidogo. So I'll pour in a tablespoon of cooking oil on it. Tablespoon of oil hivi ni papase hivi, and also some iende huko chini kwa bowl to ensure that your dough won't dry up. And then put this to rise for about an hour. So a minimum of 45 minutes, a maximum tuseme of 2 hours. So in a very warm place, so hali unajua your kitchen is very, 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 very warm. I'll also put a cloth on it pia to be sure that haita form a hard crust on the dough. So we'll meet at exactly 1 hour until the dough has risen twice the size. So we'll be back after that and then head over to our next process of cutting our donuts. So see you. In the meantime, watch my other videos and subscribe if you haven't, and let's meet after an hour. It's exactly an hour after we put our dough to rest, and as you can see, it's already double in size. So we'll just punch it off to remove the excess air and then transfer it on a clean surface. Dust it. The clean surface should be dusted off by some flour. So yeah, so I'll dust my surface with some flour and then I roll my dough and then cut our what do we call our donuts into donuts. Yeah, cut our dough into donuts. Just dust some flour on top and then so make sure that your surface is well lined vizuri. And also you can divide your dough into two. That's what I think I'm gonna do to ensure that I'm able to work with a particular part of dough vizuri, and because I could dust off your surface vizuri, dough yako itashikana, itashika the surface. So I roll out a good circle so that I cut off my dough. So let me roll out and then show you the kind of thickness that we need. So this is the kind of thickness that we want, so about an inch thickness. So now we're going to use, if you have a donut cutter the better, but if you don't have, just improvise one. So I'm using the round part of my cup, so I'll be cutting circles out. So I just press it and then try to cut in round. So tumia anything round, be it your tumbler, be it your, what is it called, be it your what, glass, anything round. Just use whatever you have that is round. So I'm cutting out my hizo, and I think you should invest in a dough, in a whatever, in a donut cutter. So let me do this to all my cuttings, and as you can see, it's a nice circle. So to make a hole, I'll use now a smaller round thing. So if you have a donut cutter, itakuwa rahisi tu ni ku press and remove your cut. So to make the hole at the center, I'll just use this, and then boom, I got my donut cut. So I'll do this to all my donuts and then let them rest for another 10 minutes, zip proof. And in the meantime, as they rest, we'll be heating our oil. And yeah, let me do this and then we'll be back with the further instructions. So I'm through cutting my donuts, and this is it. Na tule tuingine tudogo bado tutapotelea, tutapika tukule. So now I'm preheating my mafuta to ensure that niki deep fry, the oil is hot enough. And to know if our oil is hot enough, let's go to our oil. To know if the oil is hot enough, umeweka tu a wooden spoon, and when it sizzles around the wooden spoon, hivo, the oil is, it means that the oil is hot enough. So now we will start dipping our donuts without overlapping them. So dip them gently ukikaribisha kwa mafuta to ensure that the circle in our donut haitaharibika. So I'll dip according to the size of my pan and ensure that haita overlap. So I'll just start with 4 of them and let them get fried for around 2 minutes on each side maybe, or until one side is brown enough, and then I can turn it on the other side. So when one side is brown enough, utaona tu ikianza kutokea, we'll then turn them to the other side to allow it also cook on the other side. These only, they take a very short time to cook. It only takes maybe a minute. When your oil is hot vizuri, it only take a minute on one side and then another minute on the other side. So let me cook them and then we can check the final outcome. So it's fully cooked on the downer side, and this is the brownness that we want for our donuts. So that's what you'll do to your donut cuts, and until it brown to your liking, alafu uzitoe. So this is it for the donut recipe. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see each other tukikatakata tuone vile inakaa kwa ndani. So acha tupike ziive and then we'll be back. Finally, we are done with making our donuts, and we also made the small cuts. So hizo tusiite sijui tu mini mandazi ama nini. So now we can cut in our donuts, and you see, it is how soft it looks, and I'm so sure it tastes amazing. So try out this recipe and see you on our next one. Bye bye.